It has finally happened. I have finally found a suitable replacement for Tyler.
Hello, hello.
His name is Mr. Lucas Sailor from Fire Media Group. You guys have changed the name of the company a few times.
Yeah, we went from Fire PR to Fire Media Group a few years back.
Yeah.
Found that we weren't going in the direction of a PR company. We are much more of a collective and a group of different businesses that work together to help our clients grow. So we've...
it's complicated.
It is. But we've... yeah.
Cool. What is a PR company? What is that?
Well, a PR company, from my understanding, manages everything under the marketing and public relations umbrella, which can range from social media to advertising. Mm-hmm. But we found that for our business, we wanted to specialize in search marketing. Mm-hmm. So we've taken the route of really doubling down on marketing strategies that actually make you money and not focusing so much on vanity metrics like views and likes. We focus on conversions and sales. And we've specifically gone down the search marketing route because that's where we find the highest intent leads, and we can effectively grow a practice or business predictably with search marketing. So
Lucas, this is why, we get along. You just get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Just right into it. So Lucas Sailor we wouldn't be Dentists on Demand without Lucas Sailor and all of his work. It's not just blowing fluff, even though I am blowing fluff. He's just an amazing human being. I'm going to get rid of this blazer jacket.
It's hot. It's summer.
It gets very warm inside the studio. I'm already not wearing pants. So, Lucas is, for all intents purposes, he's built the website. So many different aspects of our, behind the scenes and how our internal workflow happens and just overall strategy. Lucas has been there since day one, and Tyler and I really appreciate all the work you've done. Us as our products and services, the microsite, the content, Lucas kind of covers a whole other spectrum to the marketing picture, and Lucas and I will get into this. We want to talk to you about just modern day, what you should be doing in marketing. A lot of what we'll get into is what we're doing, and we'll bring that up. We'll show examples of what we're talking about. But I mean, you touched on it in the beginning. Vanity. People's focuses are on the wrong place. I get this question a lot, like, how often should I post on social media? And I say, like, we all have a certain amount of time in the day. So my question back is, my ask back, my instructions back are usually, if you have any time to focus on marketing, ask for reviews. Make that your focus.
I agree.
Social media is fantastic and it's important, but if we're talking about content with purpose, and you have another name for it too, like your content that's patient acquisition.
Yeah, so we've coined a term called patient generating asset.
Yes.
PGAs is what I like to call them.
Yeah.
And this is basically anything that you can put your time or your marketing investment into that you can essentially build and buy one time and deploy many times over and get the result of it working for you behind your back 24/7 behind the scenes. So that could be a really good video that you're advertising on social media. That can be a website that actually makes you money, not just a pretty website. Mm-hmm. That can be investing in SEO and dominating your local market so that every single search query is effectively coming to your business. There's a lot of ways that you can be creating these patient generating assets within your business.
So what does that mean, Lucas? Like, what is a website that is this patient generating that makes you money? What's the difference in between a website versus that?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of dentists, they invest in a website and they go with Squarespace or Wix, one of these simple site builders, and they end up with an outcome with a really nice website that looks good and people can read it, and that's a very obvious goal that they should be hitting. But is their website SEO optimized so that every single month you're ranking on the right keywords that drive 10, 20, 30 new patients to your practice every single month, that's a totally different website. So what we specialize in is building those websites so that not only are you getting a website that works for you, but it's actually going to be driving new patients to your business all the time.
And do you tend to find that people aren't really focused on the right things? Like, obviously I know all of this stuff, so I'm just picking your brain here. But, it is all about when somebody needs information, like finding anything on this planet now, it's a Google search. So, if people are unfamiliar with what SEO means, it has everything to do with what information is put in front of that person that is doing that search.
Exactly.
Is that a good interpretation?
Yeah, and another way to think about it is people are searching with keywords. So we call these money words because we're looking for the keywords that have low competition, high volume, high intent quality, meaning it's something someone would type in if they were actually looking to buy your service. So by positioning your website on these keywords, it is effectively a patient-generating asset versus just a website that if people type in your domain, they can find the information.
Yeah, so, a static site that was built years ago might not be doing you any service, right? So having, ongoing content on the site in forms of blogs. Another great one is frequently asked questions, that kind of thing, updating your services. There's so many things that go into having healthy SEO, right? Or having a healthy site.
Yeah, and it really breaks down to three parts. You have the website and the technical the technical development of the website. Is it built fast? Are the images minimized? Are the meta titles all set up? Does it check all the boxes that Google looks for a healthy website? The second part is your content. So the actual words on the page. Is it written in a way that is persuasive to the reader so that they are inclined to actually convert and become a patient? Does it have the information they need? And does it also have the keywords that you want to rank for so that if people are looking for that service, that your landing page actually gets found? And the last step is your backlinks and domain authority. So a lot of people have a website, but they don't know what their domain authority is. They might have 1 out of 100, which is very common for a lot of new customers that we take on, is they've spent no time building their domain authority. And that metric is the key metric that really determines where you're going to end up on the search rankings.
Yeah. And this this conversation is like, I'm sure a lot of business owners and dentist clinic owners they're getting approached by the marketing guys, and it's, we need to redo the website. And there's a lot of validity to that. Like, what is the difference? Like, you and I follow data. We don't, it's not just fluff. There's a purpose for everything. We watch this stuff. We tweak, even in our own business. Like, it's an ongoing project. Things change. Keeping on top of that flow is crucial to traffic, right? What's the difference in between somebody that's got a website optimized that isn't spending any money on advertisement versus somebody that, their website's been sitting there since early 10s and they haven't done anything with it, like data-wise, traffic-wise?
Well, the difference is going to be whether or not you're getting new patients. So if you
that's
have a website,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
If you have a website and no one's finding it other than your existing client base, it is helping you and your existing clients find information and kind of be a hub. But it's really not working for you in the aspect that it's not in the streets trying to peddle your information, trying to get you new patients, which is the difference between an SEO optimized website and one that's just pretty and works.
That's right. So it's the purpose, right? The purpose behind everything. And then backed up by, visual, measurable data that supports the decisions along the way. And, if you're spending an X amount of dollars on a website and it's just, it is serving your patients, it's great. But why not optimize and have that regular ongoing patient traffic? And, I understand, like, budget is everything for a business, and usually, the marketing budget is usually the first one that's cut when things are going tough, right? So, finding out what your budget is super crucial as well. So, you know.
I think on that comment too about the marketing budget being the first thing that's cut, is it's a fairly counterproductive move, because if your business is slowing down, the last thing you should do is market less.
I feel like I need to face you more.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right? But yeah, no, I do feel like if you are struggling, you should be taking more time and effort for your marketing.
Yeah.
And all big things take time. And another aspect, especially with SEO, is it's going to take a while before you are the top search in your area. But once you're there, that keyword will drive traffic and patients for you for years to come. It really is a dividend method of investing in marketing, as opposed to if you have Google ads or an advertising campaign, you have to pay for that every single time a patient comes in.
Yeah.
Rather, you're kind of putting in the work up front with SEO, and you're getting the long tail results over time.
I think about it like this. I think about it like going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you go to the gym, you're gaining muscle, you're getting a stronger website. You have ongoing practice in doing that. The moment you stop, you lose that muscle.
To a degree. So with advertising, that would be true, because you're working out every day, and then the day you stop, you lose all your gains because you're no longer paying for advertising. Yeah. With SEO, the reason I think it's so valuable is because you work out for a year, you end up getting those top rankings so that patients are finding you. And even if you do taper off a little bit in your investment, those keywords will continue like printing new patients for you for years to come, unless a competitor knocks you out.
Well, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like in terms of maintenance, right? There should always be some level of maintenance.
I agree.
Because there's the other practices out there, they are competition in that space. They're spending time and effort and resource into making themselves first on Google as well. So there are free things that you can do for that maintenance, and one of them is collecting reviews, right? So taking a whole look at the picture and having a good strategy, and not taking your foot off the gas pedal there, because you get so much traction and then you taper off and you lose that momentum. It's getting into the right habits.
Yeah, and sticking with them. A lot of people want to change their strategy every 2 months, but like anything in the world, if it's valuable, it's going to be hard and it's going to take time. Yeah. And if you persevere and you get through that, that's where you're going to see a shift in your business, not just a change in volume every month. It'll literally shift how your business is growing, because you're positioned in the right spots for everything to come to you. Yeah,
give us an example. You got a good client example of a success in the last little while that.
Yeah, like we have lots of Invisalign clients we work with, and one of the things we offer, and it's the first step in our program, is doing an audit with our business. So in this audit, we will walk you through your current website, your current standings and listings, what keywords you currently rank for, what keywords you're not ranking for. We'll also show you your 3 competitors, exactly what they're ranking for, what their strategies are, and then last we show you the money words, the words that are low-hanging fruit, meaning there's low competition, high value, high intent, meaning that if we get you there, it's likely that if the traffic does come to you, they are going to become a patient. And we can kind of show you exactly where we're going to put your business and the exact results we expect to get out of it before we even get into any of the marketing. But in general, we've done this process with our clients. We found these keywords. Maybe it's the keyword Invisalign cost Vancouver, and we can see that we're currently not ranking for it at all, but we can see that your competitor is number 1. We can see how many backlinks they have. We can see the quality of their content. And all we have to do to basically get the top spot is write better content, which with the power of AI and skilled writers and experience, we can do that. And then getting the right amount of backlinks is a fairly simple process for our team. So we can put you in that position fairly predictably and know that if people are typing in Invisalign cost Vancouver, they're probably going to buy, they're interested in knowing about the price, they're already considering the service because they're coming to you. And if we position you there, all of that traffic every single month is going to come to you. Yeah. And if you have a good landing page that persuasively walks them through the process, makes it easy, has direct to billing insurance, financing options to make it affordable, the percentage of people who are going to come through and become a patient, that whole flow and that whole funnel I described is going to feed your business for years to come.
Yeah, and like you and I talk about this, it's like diagnosing that funnel, right? And let's get into this. So there's different pieces to that advertisement, to that patient journey to eventually become a patient of record in the practice. So, first is maybe seeing an awareness campaign, like a social media educational type thing. And then, there's steps along the funnel, right? So, understanding how your funnel's working is the difference in between you're getting regular traffic to your website, but if you're not seeing the conversion, it's the why. Why is that not happening is the important piece to figure out.
Exactly, and that's part of our audit process too. Is I find the first beginning of every client relationship I have is just hours of education. It's just bringing them up to speed on why things are, how to think about things, framing things in their mind so that they can understand it better. And one of those things is just breaking down the funnel, explaining to them the stages of the funnel, what parts of the funnel of their business are currently lacking, providing solutions to kind of fill that gap in the funnel. For example, maybe you're a new clinic and no one knows you exist. Most people would go, I'm going to get a newspaper ad, costs $1,000 a month. Maybe you get printed 4 times. When alternatively, you could do a social media ad with Dentist on Demand for the same amount of money and have that work for you 24/7 and be on everyone's phone in your community.
Yeah.
So there's different ways of achieving that, but going through the stages of the funnel, you have awareness, which is people who have never heard of you hearing about you for the first time. This is generally, you have to go to them, meaning you have to put yourself in front of them. And that's generally like newspaper, social media, those kind of ways or strategies. And then the next stage in the funnel is consideration. So these are the people who have heard your name, they've heard about your services, and they're considering to buy from you. So these people are going to be searching for you. These people are going to be looking at your website, and they're going to be going through the process of determining whether or not they want to buy your service, which is the third stage in the funnel, which is conversion. So making it as easy as possible for people to actually get in touch, whether that's booking a consult or just contacting you, and having a process all the way through from the moment that lead comes through to the moment they get closed.
Yeah.
And having that whole top to bottom built out in your business is not super hard to achieve. It's just about doing the right things in the right orders.
Right.
And once you have that whole flow built, you can basically just count on leads coming to you on a continuous basis long term. It just depends on what part of your business is lacking and what part we need to fill first.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, things like, we carry Care Crew. It's been DCC, Dental Corp's secret weapon. They're even like their online booking portion, which we push all day long because there's numbers that back it up with over their 600 practices across Canada. Just the ability for the patient to go and book right into the practice management software. Obviously, it's not said and done. The front end has to confirm and make that appointment official. But, we will always, unless there's something incredible about your practice, and there's a lot of incredible practices out there, but making it really frictionless, like patients will go the path of the least resistant. If your practice is difficult to get in touch with, book that appointment, they're jumping right back onto Google and finding another practice. So you could have had great advertisement. The patient loves what they see on the website, the brand new up-to-date website. And when they get to the point where they have intent, they're ready to book with you, and that's a cumbersome process. That sucks.
Yeah, it's gonna kill your lead flow. It's like having a hose with a kink in it.
Yeah,
they're just not going to go through.
And that's we work with Optimize Dental too, and Optimize Dental could actually go in and diagnose what's happening on that front end and do training with the front end staff to make sure that last piece of the chain is in place. It sucks. I've seen a lot of clients just kind of pointing fingers, right? They're quick to like, this isn't working because of, you're not doing things right. And I always go back to that call rail conversation with that one clinic that they had a patient with intent, double implant bridge, all pre-approved.
Just like a $14,000 case.
$14,000 case, and they were on the phone with the front end, and they could not book an appointment that worked out for them.
Yeah.
And they walked away. $14,000 after you spend all of this money to acquire that person, you know, making sure this whole piece, this whole loop, and that's why marketing why Dentist on Demand has shifted over to more of like the growth platform piece. Is we understand that, you know, you can have the best marketing strategy and put together the most awesome video that everybody on the planet sees, but if that front end isn't there to convert, man, oh man, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough, right?
But I think that's really the value of having a good marketing company is you don't get the feedback loop as a practice owner unless your marketing and your sales teams talk and you're involved in the process. So in our business, we listen to all of our calls every month from our clients, and we report back what we're hearing, what staff members are falling off, what things could have done better, optimizing the website based on questions we're hearing on the calls. But really the value is the dentist gets to have kind of an inside look at what's going on in that process, because I think most people are blind and they don't know what's happening at all, and they just trust their team, which is fair. Yeah. But every good team needs to be coached, and that's just a truth of life.
And you know, I'm honest with like all of our clients. I'm brutally honest with them, and it's very difficult when, and you know, there's a lot of folks on the front end that might be fearful of their jobs, or you know, or think that the marketing company's coming in and you know, getting in the way of them doing the job. If you're with the right marketing company, like we try to be a part of their team, right? And sometimes in the beginning of that journey, that client journey is sitting down and having those hard conversations, right? Man, oh man.
But it doesn't always got to be a hard conversation, because like I said, we have Optimized Dental, we have all these different training resources. Exactly. So it's not really about blaming and pointing fingers. It's communicating effectively as a team, diagnosing where the issues are, and solving the problems so that we can run smoother. And that's ultimately how your marketing team should be working with you. We should be the people helping you diagnose why you're not growing. Yeah.
And I mean, that I was like, obviously we are entrenched in dental. We are a dental growth platform, so we understand what happens in that practice, right? We're kind of talking along the lines of how, like, the relationship in between the company, of the marketing company, the team of the practice's choice, and how that relationship is working for you. Let's face it, like, successful marketing can be pretty expensive. So I think, you know, if we look at the success of the marketing as being butts in the seats, I think it's in the best interest of said marketing company to have an interest in how things are being converted.
Absolutely.
So we're very fortunate that we've got an amazing network, and Lucas, you're a huge part of that, right? But it's tough. It's a tough position to be in, to go in and then, you know, have that discussion with the clinic and then show them what that marketing strategy would cost. And, you know, it might be, they might not have a good idea of what that budget might be, right?
Well, it's all going to be relative to what you want to get out of it. So if you're trying to hit a monthly new patient threshold, or a percentage of growth per year in revenue, it's all reverse engineerable. So if we know we want to get X amount of patients per month new, we know the best strategies to do that, what we'll need to spend to achieve that. There's industry standards around cost per acquisition, like how much on average does it cost to get a new Invisalign client. So we can very much reverse engineer these numbers. And granted, if everything's working well, the awareness, consideration, the conversion, and the front end,
everything costs less.
The marketing should be making you money. It shouldn't be a cost. And that kind of goes back to the counterproductive thought of cutting off marketing when things aren't going bad. It's unless you're just not, unless you and your team are just not filling those holes to like make your marketing grow and dealing with diagnosing the funnel, there's no reason you shouldn't be making money from your marketing. It will take some time.
Yeah.
But that's the ultimate goal.
A good marketing strategy is like a winning a winning slot machine where you're putting $1 in and you're winning, right? And that, that strategy, a good marketing company like understands how to place a proper ad with the right demographics and all that stuff. And what you're looking at is that cost per patient acquisition going down with the right things being done, right?
Exactly. Yeah, those are the levers you can pull on, basically. Yeah,
it's fun. It's like a video. It's like a video game. But yeah, and another piece of the puzzle too is having that regular ongoing meeting. And I know there's a lot of what Lucas and I are talking about, that like backlinks and all this other stuff that is like, what is that? Over the head type of situation. There should be an ongoing conversation about what the strategy is and the plan is with the client. Like it should be, there should be some items that are coached on. Like Tyler and I are like, Dr. So-and-so, the reviews have dropped off. What's going on? Like there needs to be a buy-in from the team to support the marketing effort as well. Like and in terms of back and forth too, there might be a strategy that's being deployed that should be discussed with the front end team so they're aware of what's going on out there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge part of it is just the team communication, so that if we do run a new ad or a new offer, that the reception even know that it exists and that they know how to respond to it and they know how to treat those customers differently if needed. So definitely.
Well, I didn't really have a plan today, Lucas. I just wanted to like get on and chat. What are you seeing? Like what 3 simple things can people start doing so that when they start working with a marketing company and actually spending dollars, what 3 things can they do to set that foundation up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for a lot of dentists, it's just knowing your numbers, like knowing what your revenue is every year and how much you're willing to spend on marketing. We do have a process and a calculator we can walk you through that we usually do on our discovery call, breaking these numbers down and kind of giving you a ballpark of what we think you should be spending, especially if you want to get the outcome you're looking for.
And what's the formula on that? I've heard like 11% of your gross profit. Is that accurate?
That's a good like rule of thumb. Generally, it works out to about that. But really, it's a balance between how many new patients you want per month and the cost it will take to acquire that. If you're trying to be someone who wants to get a high volume of patients every month, say it's like 100, you're not going to be able to do that just from Google Ads. You're going to have to do a combination of strategies, and you're probably not going to reach that number right away. But it is something you can accumulate to. The more SEO keywords you own and dominate, the more traffic you're going to get. The better we can get your Google Ads to perform, the lower your cost per acquisition is going to get. But in general, there's a ballpark number for all these things, and we can get it pretty close. And then knowing we have the budget to work with and knowing what your goal and outcome is going to be, we can get pretty close to that.
And also, what kind of service are you offering your patients? How does it feel for that patient to come into your clinic? That white glove, taking the patient from the front to the back type of situation, how the clinic looks, the feel, our memories are mostly like based on emotion, right? So that's super crucial, and that's where everybody's buying. Like there's some clinics out there that, they're spending minimal dollars on marketing, but they just have just a great clinic to go to. So how happy is your team? Are they happy to be there, or are they just, buying time and collecting a paycheck? And like the difference in between like that leaderless clinic versus, the clinic that's got their head screwed on straight. They care about how that patient feels. I know most dentists out there care about how their patients feel, but there's some clinics that you go into and I'm blown away by how you feel in there. You know, the atmosphere, like from just the lighting and the atmosphere alone too, sometimes, right?
Well, it's interesting too, because I find those clients who neglect their business, let's say, they don't put the time into being a leader and fostering a team that cares and having a modern office that is inviting to go into. These are the same offices that struggle with marketing because they don't value putting the effort in, and they're going to get the same results. Where I find if you take an already winning practice who's been around for a long time and they get great reviews and they have a great client office and they grow through referrals, if you add our services to it, it's only going to skyrocket because you're just adding fuel to a fire rather than just nothing. You can't grow nothing. You got to have the team and the foundation there first.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's a tough slippery slope, but sometimes, you know, I look in the mirror all the time and I'll think about how, you know, I could be better at things. And sometimes that's difficult, right? Or sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. You just continue to do the same things because you're getting by. But change is tough. Doing the right things is, you know, a process. And just being educated on that is crucial to, you know, running a successful business versus a not so successful business. Again, like we didn't even touch on recare too, right? It's a massive part of it. So, you know, what is growing a clinic? Yes, new patients are crucial, but keeping patients is equally, if not more crucial. So having the right systems in the place, and you can have all the best systems in place, but if the patient had a terrible experience, that's you know, it all starts with how what kind of care you're providing.
Exactly. No, and like your marketing will work 100 times more effectively if you have retention. You need to keep customers for a long time, and that's where you're going to make most of your money. Like even if you're running advertising, you're getting a lead and you get the sale. That first sale is probably the least revenue you'll earn over the entire course of that customer's history. So you got to keep them coming in and keep them happy. And that's where you're going to see the big return and the big growth in your business. Yeah.
And just looking at yourself in the mirror and thinking to yourself honestly, you know, put yourself in the patient's shoes. Are they coming? Is this a facility, or is this a practice that patients are going to want to come back to? So, anyways, it's tough. Tough business. We're in this dental business. I think we can go off on several more tangents.
Sure.
But I'm going to throw this out to you, Lucas. I think we should do a series.
I agree.
I think we're going to do a series. We're going to figure it out. But I think what we need to do is kind of like, we are all over the place today, which is great. We're just
having fun.
We're just kind of, I had no idea what we were going to chat about when we sat down. I just knew that we were going to be able to chat about stuff because there's, you know, Lucas and I talk about this stuff on a regular basis. So it's
pretty natural for us.
We're just having the normal conversation.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at all of these pieces, and we're going to break it into sections. We're going to have, I think we just breakout series on each topic, and we'll go from there. But
I think so. I think we're going to come up with a course around search marketing, but I think in general, more people, especially in the dental industry, just need more education around the foundations and the fundamentals. So I think just focusing on a lot of those things, making the resources as public and available as possible, and making it so that if you are a dentist or a practice owner, you can dive right in and just learn the baseline so that if you do want to get started, you have everything you need to know.
Yep. Again, obviously, you know how to get a hold of us here at Dentist on Demand. We can get you connected up with Lucas and Fire Media Group. How do folks get a hold of you, Lucas?
Yeah, you can go to our website, firemg.com.
Why don't you fire it up there?
Sure.
Whoa, there's some swear words there.
Yeah, some motivational words. Sorry about that.
Yeah, people can rewind it. There you go, Fire Media Group.
Yeah, so this is us. We focus on getting customers and growing revenue with search marketing. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can go and book a discovery call. We'll do a 30-minute, 1 hour long call. breaking down your business and your goals, and basically just educating you on anything you want to know before getting started. The first step with all of our clients is doing a audit, where we will audit your website and your SEO. The goal of this is to help you find those money-making keywords, so that if we were to get started on your marketing, we would show you exactly which opportunities we'd go after, where you're missing out, where your competition is ranking, and ultimately kind of just show you the path that we would walk down if we were to move forward. And if you are to move forward with our marketing services, we'll actually refund the audit entirely and roll it towards your first month services. We just want to make it effective for everyone. So yeah, feel free to get in touch with me. Happy to walk you through whatever you want to learn.
Yeah, and all of Lucas's contact stuff will be in the description below.
Thank you.
Lucas, it's always a pleasure.
Likewise.
We're both a little tired today. Lucas was sick all week.
There. Yeah.
But you're going to see more of this conversation. We're here for you. We're an extension of your team. It needs to work like that for us. There has to be a, on the same page type of situation. Practice buy-in is everything. It's not our plan. It's not your plan. It's the mutual strategy that was come up with. It's your time and your money and your investment in your business. That's important to us. And ROI is everything to our survival. So ensuring that we're all doing the right things, pulling on the rope the same way, we see practice growth, and it's a working strategy. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, Lucas. And stay tuned. We'll see more of the Tyler's more handsome and younger replacement. Have a wonderful whatever day it might be today. Goodbye.